So, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. Today we're going to talk about a big deal that happened last couple of days. Exactly why I sold MicroStrategy stock. In order to talk about MicroStrategy stock, we have to talk about Bitcoin because now with so much Bitcoin that MicroStrategy holds, Bitcoin drives its price. So let's go ahead and take a small look at the chart, right? Where right now we are stuck in this situation between a rock and a hard place, anywhere, and we're bouncing around anywhere from 31.8k all the way to 28.5k, and the volatility is extremely low, the volume is extremely low as well. So that means only one thing: everyone expects a huge move from Bitcoin, and today we're going to analyze whether that move will be up or down. From what we can see on the chart, right, we are on the daily chart right now. From what we can see on the chart, Bitcoin earlier this year and in 2022 developed this base right here, this bottom, and from there it proceeded to form an uptrend with higher lows, as we can see. So if we look at the bigger picture, if we look at the daily chart at the bigger picture, we are still in the positive, right? We are still making higher lows and everything looks good. Let's check the weekly chart as well so you have an idea exactly where we are. Look at that. The weekly chart positive as well. We have a lot of time to drop maybe back to 28k and still be in the goods and move from there, and we'll talk about that even more. And let's check the monthly chart lastly, where here we can see as well that a new bull market looks like it's starting. It looks like a new bull market is starting right here. So what does that tell us? It tells us that the bigger picture is positive, so we're good from that side. If we look now at the smaller picture, in the medium term, we are kinda in a neutral position because we have been stuck for so many days here. But there are other metrics that give us more info and intelligence. If you look at that, that's the 200-week moving average. Basically, the average price of Bitcoin for the last 200 weeks is this chart right here, this red line. And this is a chart that a lot of people are looking. I look as well, and it basically helps me decide whether to buy or sell a couple of times. When it's below the red line, below the 200 week, I'm more likely to buy. There are generally good prices to buy for the long term. When it's higher, it's not that I don't buy, but I buy less. Depends on how high it is. Right now we are very close to it, so it's not such a bad time to buy. But yeah, it's the best time to buy when we are below it. That's a chart that I looked a lot of times, but we have a number here that we can see. The 200-week moving average price right now sits around 27.3k. Let's refresh that page. Check on that again. 27.3. Or it looks, yeah, 27.3 for the last couple of days. That's a number to look. 27.3 on the chart is around basically right here, exactly at the trend line that we have outlined. That gives us the idea that if we were to drop somewhere, we would probably test the 200-week moving average. And why I say that? I say that because after that big consolidation period that we had, only a big move is expected to come. Most people expect this move to be up because we are in this general positive bigger picture. But before this happens, I think we will see a small drop that will take us to 28.5 or 28 or even 27.5 to test the 200-week moving average in a couple of days. That's what I expect to happen. And from there, I expect a bigger move up. That's what I expect. Of course, nobody knows what will happen in the market, but that's what I see from the chart right now. And I will tell you exactly why I sold MicroStrategy right now. So, as we analyze Bitcoin now, we have an idea of where it will move in the next couple of days. I expect a bigger move up. And from there, the sky opens because if Bitcoin passes 31K, then it usually makes huge moves to the upside, anywhere from 38, 36, 38, even 40K, plus or minus a couple K. But let's go back to MicroStrategy stock and let's analyze why I sold it. So there are many reasons why. I use Bitcoin to buy and hold long term. That's why I use Bitcoin, to protect me from inflation and a lot of other stuff. I like its decentralized role. But I use MicroStrategy as a way to swing trade Bitcoin. If you spend so much time looking at Bitcoin, might as well just trade it as well a bit to have more fun and make some more money in between. So I use Bitcoin to invest long term, DCA into, and I use MicroStrategy more to buy at the lows and sell at the highs. Right now, let me hide these Bollinger Bands. Right now, we are sitting at 360, 384 price. When MicroStrategy moves around like this, it usually goes up and down, and it follows a lot of the technical analysis that it has done in the past, these lines that we have drawn. This line at 473, this line at the bottom. Can you say that this is a true bottom, the 357? I don't know. But right now, it looks like it's still dropping. So I think that fits with the narrative that it will drop a bit before it moves higher. And if that happens, I expect Bitcoin to drop to 27.5K, for example, 28K, and then buy more MicroStrategy stock because I already hold Bitcoin, so I don't mind. And from there, I will ride the higher highs, the higher lows that it will make. So in the short term, it looks negative for MicroStrategy, but in the longer term, because it follows the Bitcoin price, it looks positive. So I don't really mind buying somewhere right here. Because I sold around 390, I locked a small profit. Now I'm waiting for it to drop a bit to buy even lower. And another chart that people are looking in regards to MicroStrategy is this. If we check the long term, the max, let's check the 5 year. Look at that. Over the long term, MicroStrategy, Bitcoin is outperforming. So MicroStrategy has lower returns. Over the last 5 years, Bitcoin has 336% returns and MicroStrategy has 175. If we look at the 1 year, Bitcoin has 20, the last year, MicroStrategy has 10%. If we look year to date, this is where exactly I believe it's a good idea to sell MicroStrategy right now for me, and that's why I did it. I tried to capture this premium because for year to date, for the last like 7 months, 8 months, MicroStrategy has outperformed Bitcoin a lot, by a lot. When it does that, it usually goes back. Over the last year, it went back a bit. This would be the ideal time for me to sell, but I didn't capture it at that time. But when MicroStrategy outperforms against Bitcoin, it usually is a good time to capture that difference and sell, to have a small profit. So I think that all comes together to make me sell MicroStrategy here, because Bitcoin will drop. I expect Bitcoin to drop like a couple K from here. Bitcoin drop even, MicroStrategy drop even more, so I can buy MicroStrategy even lower and then swing trade higher. That's exactly the reason why I sold MicroStrategy. Over the long term, you can still hold MicroStrategy. It will still benefit from Bitcoin, so it doesn't even matter. But this is why I sold MicroStrategy for the short term, to capture the small premium that it had, lock in some of my profits, and then buy lower so I can sell it higher and swing trade it. Overall, I hold Bitcoin right now for the long term. We have been buying. Anyone who has the Wi-Fi money program or the investing program that I have, all the way from Bitcoin from 17K, 19K, 20, 21, 24, 25, we can be buying through all of these places. So we are in the green right now by a lot. We are very high, but we're making money, printing money. But when it comes to MicroStrategy, I use it to trade, to swing trade. And we have locked in profits here as well. but I expect a bigger drop before we move higher. That's what I expect to happen because things have been so slow and so not making any sound right now. Nothing is moving, so I expect a big move to happen. Maybe a small drop lower and then a move higher. That's what I expect for MicroStrategy. That's what I expect for Bitcoin, and that's why I sold MicroStrategy to capture the premium that it has right now year to date over Bitcoin, and buy lower so I can maybe hold it for a couple more months or years, depending on what happens with Bitcoin. That's all for this video today. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me your ideas below, what you think about MicroStrategy, what you think about Bitcoin, what are you doing right now, because everyone is kind of that doesn't know what to do, because people like me are looking at the 200-week moving average and are not into buying that much because we have been buying all the way through the lows. But we have other people that are locked to Bitcoin from 60K, like 60K, 50K, 40K. So these people are selling. That's why we're stuck here. We are stuck because buyers are kind of low volume and we still have the sellers that are locked in, that are trying to lock in some gains because they think it will drop again or something. Or they're trying to get out because we're stuck. So we are in equilibrium. We are in an equilibrium between buyers and sellers. We will see how this will move out the next couple of days, what will happen. But yeah, what would need to happen for someone like me to buy? I would need to see a drop. If we drop back to the 200 moving average at 27.5K, for example, I would buy. I would buy. It would be closer to a better price, so I would add to my position over there. It would make some people buy again. I think that will move the market. A small drop here that will make us move even higher. That's what I expect to happen. The only place to see and to protect yourself from is this, the 24.4K. If we drop below that, it means that Bitcoin already had a good run for the year, so it will spend even more time to develop for this bull market to go even higher over the long term. I don't mind that much. It gives me an opportunity as well, even though I have a good position for me in Bitcoin. It will give me a good opportunity to buy even more at lower prices, so I don't even mind. But yeah, if we drop below 24K, it means that we will spend a lot more time this year below, for anywhere from 15 and 16K all the way to 25 before we move higher for this bull market. That's all. We talked about why I sold MicroStrategy. Tell me what you are doing right now in regards to Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, and we'll talk in the next one. I'm out.